Hello everyone. So the ninth meta principle. Principles need not be considered when you know you are playing a book move. Yeah, this starts off a series of exceptions to the principles that we also saw in meta principle number 8. So here I'm basically telling you that when you have a book move, some move, you know, it's an opening move that's been tested, it's been engine approved usually. You can't break chess principles then. Engines usually break chess principles in the opening and other phases of the game because they have calculation powers that no one in the world has. They can break these principles because they know that 10 moves down the line there's some little bit of some small detail that makes it all work, some tactical detail usually. um, so yeah, nowadays these principles, if you know it's a book move, you know you can break the principle, because nowadays there are a lot of these exceptions, especially in the opening, because of the use of strong computer chess engines, especially the neural network engines that are or have been coming on this and have been coming on the scene for the past about 2 years. These engines really do break the principles, even though they've been likened to human play, but at many points they're of course engines, and now that's another topic for another day. But for that reason, break the principles when you know it's a book move. It's alright to do that. The move has been tested. There's a reason for that the move is played. With that, we'll move on to the next section. There's a very important sub principle slash corollary, maybe more of a corollary. Well, it's just simple. When you know it's a book move, you play the book move. But make 100% sure it's a book move. The more ridiculous it looks, the more you have to make sure it's a book move. Don't just play a really ridiculous looking book move and then you remember, oh no, it's not a book move, I've been confusing it with another variation, or that's not quite what happened. Yeah, you know, you need to make 100% sure that it's a book move, because if you do break the principle and it's not a book move, you can stand to lose a lot, maybe even lose the game. So make sure that what you're playing is a book move. All right, so for the famous game, yeah, it occurred between Magnus Carlsen and Levin Aronian in this very topical line. And let's move ahead. So it's more of a famous game in that it introduced a really nice novelty, and it's between famous players. The game itself maybe isn't so well known. Okay, so here, any normal person would castle short, right? This is actually what has been played multiple times, about 48 times I think, according to the Leech's database. And yeah, by now you can already guess that Magnus Carlsen did not castle short. The only move Magnus Carlsen played, which is what I'm going to show you, the only reason it works, it's because it's engine checked, or at least, yeah, it's definitely engine checked. Actually, I'm pretty darn sure human beings can't come up with this, or if they do, they have similar engine lines in their mind, or similar positions achieved by an engine. Anyway, the move is long castles. Look at this king. Look at this king. Seriously, have you seen a weaker king? Look at the pawns here. This pawn is missing. When this pawn is missing, usually it's said that the king is quite weak. Same for this pawn. This is actually another principle we will take a look at much later. So yeah, just look at this king. You're breaking the principle of keeping your king safe, of course. But I mean, this is engine checked. The only reason it works, it's because, well, the engine knows that black won't be in time to have any quick counterplay on white, and in fact the engine says white has a slight advantage. This is probably some neural net preparation by Leela. And this is also very topical, h4, rook h3, rook g3 check. Topical in the sense that it's just kind of imitating the play of neural network engines. And yeah, Magnus should have probably won the game here, but he was not able to. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate actually for such a nice novelty. Yeah, but he was not able to. Alright, so the other example, a bit of a short and sweet one, comes out of the King's Indian defense. This is the King's Indian defense, and we have a 4, the 4 pawns attack. A rather rare guest nowadays because largely black is said to have neutralized this variation, and I revealed the move. But yeah, there's still some theoretical groundwork, of course, still left to be played out, thanks, of course, to the advent of neural networks as well. Anyway, 96, breaking our favorite principle, a knight on the rim is dim. You've already seen this principle multiple times. But the only reason you're breaking it here is because it's a book move. Now, why is it a book move? That's a good question. But if you know it's a book move, you just play it. You don't think, oh no, it's we're putting a knight on the rim. We can break principles when we know that it's a book move. Now let's explain why it's a book move. The reason it's a book move is that here black is able to play e5, and after f takes e5, d takes e5, and d5, the knight is able to jump to c5. We can see this in the sample game a bit. So this is the sample game, and here the knight gets to c5. So it's only temporary, this this knight excursion to the side of the board. But yeah, you don't know this at the start, so the only thing you know, it's a book move. Well, you should know the ideas, I mean, but if you only know it's a book move, you can't play it, because yes, it breaks principles, but again, it's been tried, tested, and it's one of the best moves in this position. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you got something out of it. Take care.